Hey, it's Scott and Shara. Welcome to part 2 of our Bahamas Adventure, where we're exploring
Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic.
All right, stay tuned. Welcome to part 2 of our Bahamas cruise adventure. As we disembarked from our second port visit, Shara and I headed to the aft end of the ship, where we enjoyed a stunning sunset over the ocean. This was the perfect segue to put the camera down and prepare for a relaxing day at sea and enjoy our time together. 7 days into our adventure, the MSC Seaside was skillfully docked about 1,000 miles south of Miami in San Juan, Puerto Rico. With the many excursions offered by the ship, we picked one that appealed to our love of caffeine and, more importantly, Shara's love of coffee. As we strolled through the streets of San Juan on a walking history and coffee tour, we sampled the rich Puerto Rican coffee while being fascinated with the island's history. Puerto Rico coffee dates back over 200 years, with two different beliefs on who and when the Arabica coffee beans were introduced. Some believe coffee was brought to the island in 1736 by the Spaniards, while others believe they were introduced by the Corsican monks in the late 1700s. Regardless, with its mountainous terrain, volcanic soil, and island climate, Puerto Rico turned out to be ideal for growing the coffee bean. The all-natural harvesting has led to a rich and flavorful coffee that is sweeter and smoother than any other 100% Arabican coffee. Fun fact, at one point, Puerto Rican coffee was the official coffee of the Pope. Puerto Rico was settled between 2,000 and 4,000 years ago and came under Spanish rule in 1493 when discovered by Columbus. Aside from a short time in 1598 when the British temporarily seized power over the island, it remained under Spanish control until the end of the Spanish-American War in 1889. When the war ended, Puerto Rico was acquired by the United States, but the people of Puerto Rico did not become citizens until 1917. As the U.S. citizens, Puerto Ricans can travel between the island and the United States without passports. However, they are not allowed to vote in federal elections, nor do they pay federal income tax. As our tour ended, we still had time to explore a little more of the city and made a visit to the San Juan National Historic Site. The fort is the oldest European construction under the United States jurisdiction and one of the oldest in the New World. The fortification was built in the 16th century to defend the city from pirate attacks. About 3/4 of the fort's walls remained standing after an earthquake in 1867 and the Spanish-American War in 1898. Improvements to the fort were made during World War II. On February 14, 1949, it was established as a historical site. After daydreaming about what it'd be like stationed at such a paradise, it was time to explore a little more of the city, including the birthplace of the Pina Colada. Well, if you're ever caught in the rain, here's where you want to be. Birthplace of the Pina Colada. When we returned to sea, we spent the evening exploring the upper decks of the ship while wishing we had done this a few days earlier, as we finally found the quieter spots on the deck and Shara even found a place to curl up with her Bible and coffee in the morning. While Puerto Rico was a leisurely experience full of beauty, history, and charm, our next port appealed to our sense of adventure. After porting in the Dominican Republic, our group boarded a tour bus for a drive deep into the jungle, to the Domangua waterfalls.
From here to Santiago, de aquí a Santiago, it's 1 hour y media. It's 1 hour and a half.
Due to a recent drop in the water levels, we were only going to see 3 of the 7 waterfalls we had been looking forward to. Guided on a 45-minute hike into the jungle, over streams, through frigid waters, and up questionable ladders, the hike became more intense as we got closer to our destination. Well, we are in the jungles of the Dominican Republic, and this has quickly turned into a Dunnage garage experience. It's gone off the rails.
Absolutely.
We think our tour is somewhere up there. We're not 100% sure. Looks like it. In the congestion of 3 different tour groups passing through, the tour guides became concerned for our safety. It turned out the river had started to flow a lot more water than expected. Unfortunately, the guides made the tough call of deeming the river too dangerous to continue on. They did, however, allow the groups to jump off one of the waterfalls, which we both chickened out on. Shara has been regretting this ever since. The guides also allowed us to take an optional natural water slide that was so invigorating that it made the whole hike worth it. Who am I kidding? Just the scenery made the hike worth it. The slide, that was a bonus.
Alright, so we did the waterfalls. There was supposed to be 7 waterfalls, but with currents and weather and everything going on, it was docked down to 1 waterfall. We got to the 3rd waterfall underneath it. Was able to jump off the 2nd waterfall and slide down the 3rd one. Great time. What'd you think?
It was fun.
Fun? Do it again?
In a smaller group.
Smaller group. Big group this time, but all in all, good time.
As we made our way back to the ship, we were faced with the reality that this was our last port visit before our return to Miami. However, not the end of this journey. On the shores of Miami awaited one more escapade, this time with airboats and alligators. Stay tuned for the final adventure in this series. Hey, it's Scott and Shara with Dunnage Garage. Welcome to our Bahamas Adventure, where we're going to explore
What are we exploring?
Puerto Rico and the Dominican.
Okay.
Hey, it's Scott and Shara with Dunnage Garage. Welcome back to our Bahamas Adventure, where we're exploring...
I'm sorry. One more time. Take 3.
Hey, it's Scott and Shara. Welcome to our Bahamas Adventure. Now I'm gonna screw it up. Hey, it's Scott and Shara with Dunnage Garage. Welcome back to our...